All right, guys. So Brand Online dropped another video talking about Genshin Impact Lantern Rite. So the game recently just had its Lantern Rite event, and I saw a lot of videos of people talking about, Hu Tao saying, "Oh, she's gonna die," red flags, and all this crap. So I'm really interested to see what Brand has to say about this because I addressed the story. Like I addressed one of the main reasons why I don't like Genshin Impact is because the story lacks consequence, and he's pretty much going to talk about that in this video. So I'm really interested to see what he has to say about this. Make sure you guys go ahead and like his video and subscribe to his channel. Really appreciate it. And let's go ahead and react to this
video. Today, I just finished the latest Lantern Rite patch quest, and it was really good. I honestly think it was probably one of the best Lantern Rites we've had out of like all of them, I think. There's a couple of issues that I tended to have with it along the way, though, and I wanted to talk about that with you guys and see what you guys think about it. Open and healthy discussion about some good things and bad things about the game right now. Let me know down in the comments what you think. So as much as I enjoyed Lantern Rite, there was a couple of things that kind of took me out of it quite a bit. One of those is the lack of English voice acting. Now, me as a person, when it comes to video games specific,
when it comes to the whole English VA situation, I don't really care about that because it's not really the company, it's not really Genshin's fault and the VA's fault, the voice actors. I think it's this other studio called Famosa. I forgot what it's called, but something to do with voice actors not liking the fact that their voice can be used with like AI. So therefore they went on a strike, which is understandable. So when it comes to the whole VA situation, it sucks how, you can't even, hear what the characters are saying. You're just reading dialogue. And then you have Paimon in the background just being annoying as fuck, regurgitating what the characters are saying, repeating what they're saying so that you can have a better understanding. It really is annoying. It's a shitty situation.
specifically as a type of media, I really digest information a lot better by listening. Auditory information sinks in a lot easier for me, which is why I like watching things like lore videos with Ashikai explaining things to me, and Roosevelt, and a lot of other amazing creators. The fact that there was like 16 unvoiced characters in English made it impossible to play.
Now that's crazy.
Unless I was reading through it
16 unvoiced characters is crazy
myself, but I did play it in Japanese and the voice acting was phenomenal. Hu Tao, dude, had so much emotion. It was fantastic. The lack of English voice acting in this quest really hit home for me, though, how bad the situation must have gotten for the voice actors. And I'm not blaming this on the voice actors or really Genshin themselves at this point. It's Formosa, it's the studio and the AI problems that are plaguing the industry at the minute. Luckily, it seems Genshin is taking the necessary steps and moving the voice actors to a different studio.
And honestly, I've seen some people make some ridiculous arguments about this, say some crazy things saying, "Oh, the voice actors, they're selfish." What the fuck are you guys talking about? Imagine you sign up for a job, right? You're in your job, and then out of nowhere, you have this AI who's pretty much taking your spot, right? Taking your spot in your own position. They're taking your spot. How would you feel? And the next thing you know, you get kicked out, you get fired, and the AI pretty much took your spot, and you're not making any money. It's valid. Like I'm on the voice actor side. It's valid. It's definitely valid, and they should definitely fix this situation. AI is getting ridiculous day by day. You guys, if you go on YouTube, you would see a bunch of AI videos. It's actually crazy. So it's understandable for them to, worry about this because, you know, AI voices is crazy. It's actually crazy. But it is like the story feels a lot worse now because of the voice acting situation, and you can't even hear what the characters are saying. It's just a shitty situation, man. It's really bad.
Or at least moving their contract with Formosa to a different studio. Don't know how long that's going to take, don't know when the issues are going to be fixed, but it's a step in the right direction in improving the game and improving the consistency of the dialogues. Now, the next thing that I want to briefly discuss is just how good the recent animations have been, man. This Lantern Rite, dude, the animations have been absolutely fantastic. Hu Tao getting so close to so many characters. It just feels much more emotional. It makes you feel more invested, more impactful, and the storyline itself was incredibly good. But that does bring me on to one more kind of negative thing, at least in my opinion, and this is kind of what I want your guys' opinion on as well.
And I know exactly what he's gonna say. The story lacks consequences. So many people can say, "Oh, Genshin story is the best." Listen, the story lacks consequences. Multiple times they would explain that there are rules to that, and if you break these rules, that's going to wake up the heavenly principles. They have been saying this shit for 4 years. Nothing has happened. You have Neverlet, who is a Hydro sovereign dragon who's currently in charge of Fontaine. You would think that that would be enough for the heavenly principles to wake up and be like, all right, what the fuck is going on? Right? Nothing's happened yet. They haven't reacted to that. You would think that they would react to Zhongli no longer being the Geo Archon for Leeway. Nothing happens. You would think that, Scaramouche going back in time, erasing himself, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata pretty much sacrificing herself for her nation. You would think all of these events in each nation, they would wake up the heavenly principles. Nothing has happened yet. And they keep saying this shit for like years. They have been saying the same thing for 4 years. If you do this, heavenly principles, they're gonna wake up. Nothing's happened. There's just no consequences. And maybe that's because, there's something going on in Celestia. Who fucking knows? But they should stop using the if you do this, that's gonna wake up the heavenly principles. It's obviously not, bro. It's not gonna do shit. Like use something else. All right, use something else. I feel like they keep using the same excuse over and over again. If you do this, it's gonna wake up the heavenly principles. Nothing's happened yet. It's I don't know, man. It's getting ridiculous. But let's continue.
Because there's a lot of conflicting views about this. Now, in the past, in terms of Genshin Impact characters and the way that their stories have been handled, I've had a couple of criticisms, and a lot of people assume that... Actually, before I get into it, let me explain. Back at the Chasm quest, Xiao had a...
Yes, thank you for bringing up the chasm, man. This is a perfect example. Some people are mad at me for bringing up Xiao as an example as of to why the story lacks consequences. No, this is a perfect example as of to why Genshin Impact story lacks consequences and it's not impactful, because Xiao falling into the chasm, this would have been a perfect opportunity for them to show that actions have consequences. Him saving his friends, sacrificing himself to save his friends, that has a consequence. They're gonna fucking die. But no, Zhongli came and fucking saved him. So it's like there's just no sense of relief in this game whatsoever, because there's always a backup plan for these characters. There's always a backup plan for playable characters. If they decide to do something, there's nothing for them to worry about, because like somebody's gonna save them. Somebody's gonna save them, or something's gonna happen and they're gonna be like perfectly fine. It's like there's just no sense of urgency, no consequences. Like it's just the story is just not impactful. It's really not impactful at all.
near-death experience, right? And it really improved his character a lot. And Zhongli came in and just saved the day, and there wasn't really any consequences after that. And a lot of people thought, and rightfully so, that I was saying that I just wanted Xiao to die, because that's what I kept saying. That's not necessarily what I mean.
That's not just it, man. There's more to it than just Xiao dying. There's more to it. Like, characters dying is like one of the aspects of, a story being good, right? Characters dying is just one aspect. There's multiple things that you have to go into when it comes to a story having a game having a good story. Characters dying is one of them, because if they're just killing characters for no reason, of course that's fucking stupid. You have The Last of Us, where Joel, whatever his name was, he died, and a lot of people weren't happy about that. There are some certain cases where some people are not happy if a character dies. So we're not saying that in order for the story to be impactful, in order for the story to be good, characters have to die. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just that if you guys are going to create this theme where actions have consequences, and if you do this, then this is going to happen, show it. Fucking show it. Don't just say it, show it. Show, don't tell. That's the problem. That's the issue with hoyoverse games. They keep telling. You guys have to show it.
Terms with what I think my biggest problem is with some of the ways that Genshin's story is told time and time again. And it's not necessarily the lack of playable character deaths, it's the lack of feeling of risk or feeling of consequence for playable characters. There's some storylines where it's done incredibly well. For example, Nahida kind of killed a part of herself and now doesn't even know about it, right?
See, now the whole Nahida thing, when like Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, she pretty much sacrificed herself for her nation, sure, pretty good. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure everybody's memories was wiped and they don't know anything about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata because she erased herself from existence. So it's stuff like that where like it would have been dope if like people actually remembered Greater Lord Rukkhadevata and they made a monument to remember her. But of course, nobody remembers her anymore. She's just fucking gone, right? You have Scaramouche, Scaramouche going back into time and pretty much erasing himself from existence. You would think, you would think that this would have a severe consequence, but no. Scaramouche, like I'll say 30 minutes in, like you guys remember that one quest, I think it was an interlude quest for Scaramouche, him going back into time, experiencing what happened in Inazuma. He felt bad and therefore he just erased himself from existence. You would think that him doing this, there will be a huge consequence, or he would never come back. All it took was for him to, I don't know, remember himself, and boom, Scaramouche is back, and it's like nothing even fucking happened. That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. Like Scaramouche going back at the time, erasing himself. That's really really big, really really huge. The Heavenly Principles, they still haven't reacted to that, and Scaramouche, he's back. He's just back, and it's like nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like instead of them, showing that actions have consequences, it's more like, oh, this is just character development for Scaramouche. He's just a good person now. I don't know, it's just weird.
Right, with the whole Rukadabara thing. And I think that was done really well, but that also, at least in my opinion, wasn't a storyline that was necessarily centered around death and loss. Baiju's story, for example, was done really, really well, where he does quite literally suffer the consequences of his actions because he's absorbing the illnesses and ailments of other people, right? But there's so many times, and it happens more and more at the minute, that when a story is giving these death flags specifically for characters, the Chasm quest with Xiao had major death flags for Xiao, and a lot of people just thought he was going to lose it all. Zhongli comes in and saves the day, and neither Xiao nor Zhongli suffers any consequences pertaining to what just happened. The sense of risk there kind of feels redundant at that point, although it's really a hit in the moment. As soon as that moment's over, you're like, oh, well, it's just done, and that's it.
It's like nothing happened, right? After the quest, you're like, it's whatever, bro. It is what it is, and you continue on doing your daily commissions. That's what I'm talking about. It's like there's just no sense of urgency. There's no sense of risk. The story is just so it's just Disney, bro. It's just like the power of friendship. As long as we're together, nothing can stop us. It's just ridiculous. Like you look at Natlan, there's a whole war going on in Natlan. Not a single playable character has a scratch on their body. They don't have a scar. None of that. None of them are injured. Totally fine. I don't know, man. It's just fucking weird. It really is weird. And then you have um the Pyro Archon. I'm pretty sure in the war, Natlan people, they can pretty much, revive themselves even if they die. That's another thing too. That's another thing too. Some people were fine with that. Me personally, I don't think that's good. The fact that, characters, they can revive themselves. It's like where is the consequences at, man? Like, I don't know, man. Like to call it a war, but you can't even fucking die. It's like you can revive yourself and you can keep fighting over and over again. I don't know, man. It's just I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous how they would show these dire situations, but then there's a backup plan and there's nothing for you to worry about.
That's it. The same kind of goes with Hu Tao and the latest Lantern Rite quest, right? Because it was very much foreshadowed that she was gonna die, and I said in the live stream something along the lines of, well, we know she's not gonna die because number one, she's a playable character, number two, it's
Exactly.
Genshin, and number three, it's a limited time event. Although I wouldn't put it past them putting something like that in a limited time event, considering they've done big lore drops in limited time events, but I was mainly joking with that. I'm going to play my reaction to the cutscene actually first. Let's go through that and then we'll discuss it a bit after. Let the ceremony begin! Wait, we're going to get a cutscene already?
Wait, this is the cutscene to the Hu Tao, like the whole Hu Tao death scene. All right, let's see it.
Oh, God,
I haven't seen this yet. Am I blocking his reaction? No, I'm not blocking his reaction.
Oh, damn. Oh. That transition was smooth as hell. Damn.
I mean, guys, let's be real, bro. They do this every year, right? Every Lantern Rite, they do a little cut scene showing all the people of Leeway, hanging out, celebrating the Lantern Rite festival. They do this every single year, and for them to put the Hu Tao scene with like for them to put the Hu Tao quote unquote death scene with the Lantern Rite scene, like come on, guy, it's not gonna happen. Like she's not gonna fucking die, bro. Like for them to put that cut scene in the Lantern Rite scene, it's just not gonna happen, right? And that's the problem, bro. That's just the problem. It's like there's just no consequences, man. Just no consequences in this game. A character can literally, I don't know, a character can literally do like the dumbest thing ever. Like the playable character can do one of the dumbest things ever, and they're totally fine. Nothing's gonna happen to them. Nothing is gonna happen to them at all. I don't know, man.
Damn! The voice, man. Jesus. Oh god, here she goes. It's time. Burn the tree, foreshadowing. Dotori. Uh-oh. Oh god.
Nothing's gonna happen, bro. Nothing is gonna happen. And you already know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh no, she's gonna die. Guys, let's be real. No, she's not, man. She's not gonna fucking die.
Nah.
You see, like, let's go back real quick. Let's go back.
Nah.
Look at this. Prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves for what? For what? Like, I've seen this so many times in the community where people will be like, oh, you know, prepare yourself for this scene. Oh no, death flags. Can we stop being delusional and act like this game has been out, you know, for 4 years and they've been doing the same fucking thing for 4 years where they would show a scene, right, hinting that a character might die and then boom, somebody's gonna fucking save them. Like, how much you guys want to bet whatever is going to happen to Hu Tao, somebody's going to come and save her. Somebody is going to come and save her. They're going to make it seem as if she's going to die. You know, she has scars all over herself. She's injured. They're going to make it seem as if she's going to die. Somebody's going to come in and fucking save her. Watch. I'm calling it.
It's going to be just like Natlan where we give power to the fire to make it raw. Somehow.
Look at this. People saluting, saying Hu Tao's dead. Like, look at this guy saluting Hu Tao's death. Oh my fucking goodness, bro. It's like these people act like they played the game like yesterday. Like the game just came out yesterday. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh god. Wait, why did that kind of look like Arlecchino's curse? The dark fingers. Feta. Damn.
Cool looking cutscene. But at the same time, it's like they're trying to make it seem as if she's gonna die. They're trying to, you know, hint that, you know, she's probably gonna die in this. No, she's not. Yeah, and that's the problem.
Oh, she did it. Next lantern, right? If you see a butterfly, that's me coming back to see you all. Yeah, she ain't dead.
You see, Brand knows it. Brand knows it too. He knows it too. That's the thing. You see, look at everybody in chat. Lute's like, oh my fucking goodness, man. So I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit is so fucking annoying. Like, they act like the game just came out yesterday, man. And oh, she's fucking dead. Oh gosh. Watch. Somebody's gonna come and fucking save her.
Cute, man. Chat, she's not
Wait.
dead.
Let me see if somebody actually had common sense here. Execution was still pretty cool, but there's no way they're gonna kill a beloved character like Hu Tao in a limited event. You see, somebody has common sense in that chat. Somebody has fucking common sense.
cute, man. Chat, she's not dead for crying
Look at
out
that,
loud.
Rip Hu
This is
Tao.
Genshin Impact, hit game Genshin. Probably gonna have a domain where we cross the boundary, like go to the boundary of life and death and just bring her back, just like we did at the beginning of the quest. Wait, we're actually going to the boundary of life and death, aren't we? Yep, okay. Like, this is still very sad, and I still appreciate this stuff, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm like, oh my god, Hu Tao's dying.
You see, look, you see, I told y'all. These Genshin players, they're, oh my goodness, bro. Look at this.
Not gonna
User in chat set just pretend. These players, they're just fucking ridiculous, man. Like, she's not fucking dead. We're not gonna pretend shit. She's not fucking dead, bro. Actually insane. Just pretend.
sit here and pretend that I'm like, oh my god, Hu Tao's dying. This stuff is still emotional, and it makes me feel for the character. But I ain't gonna sit here and fucking lie to you guys and just pretend. Absolutely not. Oh, damn. Dude, beautiful animation quality. Holy.
Look at that. I fucking told y'all, bro. Traveler gonna come and save her. You see?
Damn.
There's always going to be a backup plan. There's always going to be some, you know, safety for playable characters whenever they're facing death. Somebody's gonna come in and fucking save them. It happens all the time. That's why whenever I see these people in chat saying, "Rip Hu Tao," oh no, she's dead. Shut the fuck up, bro. Like, stop acting like the game just came out 1 day ago, alright? They've been doing this shit for 4 years. Nothing new. Just pretend it's crazy.
Damn. Hey, that's beautiful. Wow. Traveler sounds so chill. Hey, that was sick though. That was cool. Oh,
like, it's a cool cutscene.
Insides or gold.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was a cool cutscene, but at the same time, if we're sticking to the main topic here, talking about how the game lacks consequences, the story lacks consequences, this is a perfect example. They showed Hu Tao was about to die, and then boom, somebody comes and saves her.
Gold. Interesting. So with this, there was a couple of things that I had small problems with. I thought the cutscene was beautiful and I thought it was really, really well done, but the feeling of risk wasn't even there for me because I fully expected her to come out of it the other end perfectly fine.
Yep.
And I fully expected no lasting consequences, which sucks because I feel like for these stories to hit as hard as Hoyoverse are wanting them to hit, there needs to be some kind of feeling of consequence or risk.
Thank you. You see? It's like, in order for the story to be very, very good, they have to implement risk, right? They have to implement risk where characters, they can probably die if they decide to do something. They can probably die if, you know, they make the wrong choice. Choices have consequences with deciding, you know, which, because there's a lot of moments in the story where they would have like a dialogue, and, you know, for the traveler, he can pick which one he wants to say. Like, he can choose whichever dialogue he wants to say. Let's be honest, guys, it doesn't even fucking matter. I don't even understand why they, you know, let us, you know, choose what we want to say when it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because, you know, characters, the playable characters, they're still gonna do whatever they want. So I don't understand why they give the traveler, you know, text options to say what he wants to say. It doesn't it just doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. But back to what I was saying when it comes to risk, right? You see Hu Tao right there. She decides to do something probably to save everybody in leeway. You know, they showed some people who were sick and, you know, they healed because of Hu Tao, because of what she did. You would think that her doing that, there would be a consequence where she would actually sacrifice herself. That would have been way better, right? Her doing that actually has a consequence, her own life. That would have been great. But of course, she decides to, you know, heal people, whatever. Because I haven't even watched this, the cutscene. I don't even know what the fuck was going on. But I'm just assuming that her doing something to this tree, a lot of people were healed from, you know, their illness, their disease, or whatever. You would think that she would, you know, die, and, you know, that's the consequence. But of course, there's a backup plan. Somebody's gonna come in, fucking save her, and we're just gonna go drink hot chocolate and act like nothing happened. That's the fucking problem. That's the problem. And the fact that they've been doing this for 4 years now, whenever we're experiencing cutscenes like this, there's no sense of risk. There's no sense of urgency. There's just no emotion because we know what's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna come in and save the day. It's the same thing, you know. So that's the main problem here.
Involved. And I feel like we're doing this time and time again when it comes to death of a character where there isn't really a consequence. Hu Tao gets these markings on her face that make it look like she's literally dying and her life essence is being taken away. We somehow, using the branch, I still don't fully understand how that really worked, went into the afterlife realm where she was crossing over to the afterlife where she met her father and grandfather. And we pull her out of it. I think from what I read in chat that we absorbed the ailment from her as the traveler, which OP traveler, plot armor, I don't know, man. But then as soon as that happens, there's no lasting consequence, man. Hu Tao's alive and well, she's perfectly fine. We sleep for 2 days because it was tiring.
And this is what I mean by the story is just fucking inconsistent. They always show cutscenes where the traveler is OP as fuck, but then they put him up against Arlecchino, fourth of the Fatui Harbinger, and they made him look weak as fuck. Absolutely weak, using a 2-star weapon, not using any elemental abilities. But of course, when he's fighting with Mavuika against the Pyro Sovereign Dragon, he's using Hydro, going absolutely crazy, showing how OP Traveler is. It's just weird, man. It's fucking weird how they show how OP the Traveler is, but when it comes to situations like Arlecchino, he's just powerless. Absolutely powerless. But when it comes to the Pyro Sovereign Dragon, who's probably leagues above Arlecchino, he literally came out the battle unscathed, riding with Mavuika on her motorcycle. It's just inconsistent, man. Really is inconsistent.
Obviously, that's about as much consequence as there is. I just think there is really, really cool ways that we could do things a little bit differently. One of the things that I suggested was maybe just show some kind of lasting consequence, even if it's for the traveler, not even necessarily for the playable character. Show something.
A good idea would be, okay, let's say Hu Tao, she did what she did. Let's say after she did that, she no longer has the ability to wield her pyro vision, right? She doesn't have any power abilities anymore. She's not a power user. That would have been good, right? That would have been amazing. Like, her doing this pretty much means that she's no longer a vision holder, a vision bearer. She can no longer use pyro abilities. That's a lasting consequence. Like, that's actually pretty good. But of course, you're not gonna do something like that. I don't know, man. This is fucking retarded, bro. It's actually
something
stupid.
that shows that what we're doing to save these people is actually affecting us in a bad way. Because, like, we literally went to the afterlife, pulled her out, and absorbed the ailment. Like, it's a pretty big deal, man. And even if it wasn't, my other thing was, even if you want to headcanon it, Hu Tao just got a new skin with this event. They made the character model have these markings on the face. How much extra work do you guys genuinely reckon it would have been for hoyoverse to maybe add another skin, a free skin that you get for completing the quest, where Hu Tao has these markings on her and you can use it just to maybe show that she's got these ailments or something?
That's a great question, but of course, multi-billion-dollar company, they can't even make a skin where she just has a scratch on her face. Multi-billion-dollar company we're talking about here, guys.
No,
it's never gonna happen.
Thought. For me, it's like I still really like the quest, and I thought it was really, really good. I actually gave it an 8 out of 10. I said it would have been an 8.5 if it had the English VA, but that's, again, kind of an unavoidable thing at the minute. And it would have been a 9 if there was at least some kind of feeling of consequence or risk involved. And honestly, part of it is on me for having that kind of mindset going into it. I'm fully aware of that. But it's a conditioned mindset based on previous experiences of playing through these similar styles of quests, you know? Genuinely, let me know down in the comments what you think.
I feel like you shouldn't blame yourself and tell yourself it's my fault that I, went into this quest with the mindset that, some of these characters should have, they should suffer the consequences if they're going to decide to do something for the people of Leeway. If they're going to do something to help the people of Leeway. You shouldn't blame yourself for that. Like, whenever you're playing a video game, right? And whenever there's a character who wants to do something to save the world, there's always a consequence for that, right? With great power comes with great responsibility. Who was that again? I think that was Spider-Man's uncle, right? Uncle Ben. With great power comes with great responsibility. Every superhero, they face consequences. If they decide to do something, there is a consequence. It's inevitable. But unfortunately, when it comes to Genshin Impact, it's like, all right, if you want to do something, just know that the traveler is always going to save you. And if the traveler isn't there, then there's going to be an archon or somebody who's just going to wait for you to do something stupid and we're going to come and save you. It's just fucking dumb to me. It really is just retarded, bro. It just makes no fucking sense why they created this theme where these characters can pretty much do whatever they want and nothing happens to them. Nothing happens to them. They just continue on with their daily lives as if nothing happened. I don't know, man. This is weird.
What did you think of Lantern Rite overall, and what do you think Hoyoverse could do to improve, if you even think they need to improve? If you think it's great, then I'm really happy for you. Like I say, 8 out of 10 is not a bad score. I think it's very, very good. I just think there's a couple of things that would have made it better for me personally. And honestly, I'm really enjoying making these kind of sit-down videos, even where a lot of people do disagree with what I'm saying, because it sparks some really healthy and good discussions in the comments, and that's what it's all about, dude. I love making the best video series because it highlights and showcases other content creators' work, and it's absolutely amazing. You Laugh, You Lose is just great because it's a way to give back to the community as well. These kind of sit-down videos are another outlet for me to share my thoughts and opinions and everything like that about content in the game that I love and that I don't necessarily like so much. And it's a way to have the community openly engage in these kind of topics, including with me. I love to go back and forth in the comments with you guys. So let me know.
Really good, man. Really good video. I mean, this is, once again, really good video here because, making videos like this to, express your thoughts and opinions is really good. Of course, it's going to be, some people are going to be salty. They're going to see it in the comment section, be like, you're wrong because this game is actually pretty good. And they don't even actually understand what you're saying. Those type of people, just fucking ignore them. They're a lost cause. But overall, let me switch my screen here. Overall, I agreed with most of the things he said. I 100% agree, and I do feel like, when it comes to the story in Genshin Impact, is getting to a point where characters can just do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want, and there's just no consequence. Them using the heavenly principles as some sort of, like making it seem as if the heavenly principles, they're the embodiment of consequences when they're not doing shit about it for like 4 years. It's like they should stop using the heavenly principles as an excuse because they've been AFK for a long time. They haven't done anything. Zhongli not being a Geo Archon anymore. The Hydro Archon pretty much giving up her seat as an Archon. Hydro Sovereign Dragon is currently ruling Fontaine. It's like all of these things have been happening into that, and there's just no response. No response from the Heavenly Principles. So it's like at this point, they should just stop using the Heavenly Principles as like some risk factor, like the embodiment of consequences, because they're not going to do shit about it. Instead, what they should do is whenever a character does something, like if they're going to do something for the greater good, like make them lose their vision or something. Make them lose their vision, or just make them have a consequence. Like not every character should have a consequence, but the reason why they should do this is because it's going to make the story more impactful. And whenever we're playing these story quests, we're going to be like, oh shit, I don't want this character to do this because something bad is going to happen to them. But unfortunately, it's like for Genshin Impact, it's like whenever a character does something, it's like, I don't really care because somebody's going to come and save the day. So why should I care? It's like at this point, you're just playing the story just to laugh, just to enjoy it, and that's it. When it comes to, serious situations, I can't take it seriously because I know at the end of the day, somebody's going to come in and save the fucking day. As long as a playable character is involved, they're not going to fucking die. Nothing's going to happen to them. But if it's like an NPC, they're either going to disappear, they're no longer going to exist, or they're just like a ghost or something. It's like, it seems like the NPC characters are the only ones that are actually facing consequences. Meanwhile, for playable characters, they just have plot armor. Like nothing happens to them. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Once again, great video. And I hope you guys have a good one. I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.